Good evening YouTube. Should we call this video Magnus in the Man Cave? Because now I'm gonna show you how I do that Fireline braid knot or Berkeley braid knot. I don't know really exactly the name, but I think Fireline was first with it. The Fireline braid knot. But I am doing it a little bit different than you should do it. Here I have an on my what you call this snap, and classic Rapala CD9. You must use classic sometimes because they are very good, and this perch color is fantastic. And I have 0.39 fluorocarbon and to a swivel. But to connect the braid to that swivel, because I don't like to crankbaits, I don't like to do any attach knot like an Albright knot. I use Albright or Alberto knot for if I fish whacker and that kind of stuff, but not for this. I want to just leave like this because this is good. You should have some kind of hangout when you throw, and this is perfect. So now I'm going to show you how I do that Fireline knot with my technique. Maybe I'm going to zoom in some here. Focus on that area. Okay, this is the way I do it. I take the braid line. Did I say that it was 0.12 millimeter? Catch with care. My preferred line is Berkeley X9, but that was out of the shelves in the stores. I double it. God damn, I am totally out of camera. I double it like this, like you do when you do a Fireline knot, and then I wet it so it gets more pointy, and then I take it into that hole in that swivel. One time, and two times. And look here now. I don't make a loop here. I tighten it up. Tighten it up. Because my loop is that hole in that swivel. And then I just do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 or 9. Tighten it up. Going through that hole in that swivel. And do you call this an overhand knot? Going back in that big loop here. Tighten it up. Wet it. It's more important on that on monofilament or fluorocarbon, but I wet it. Tighten that knot up and put it really hard. And then I now you see it's our two lines out there. Then I take them away from the main line and use the knife. That the scissor on that Victorinox is not made for cutting braids, so I just do it like this. And all my crankbait get stuck in my pants. I do it like this. And then you have that Fireline knot minus modification. Do you say modification? Minus style. Very strong knot, and it's not going to break. Rapala CD9 took my leg, but it have not. I have a really bad success lately on fishing. I'm going to show you here, but the last year I'm going to show you something here. Do you see that hole in that CD9? The 4 kilo sander took it, and punctured the balsa, but it still worked very well. So just don't fish modern style of bait, use the classic Rapala CD9. And this color in black and gold is even better. That it was one of my all-time favorites. Oi. Let me show you something old stuff here from the 50s. A friend of mine at work gave that to me. It has never been out. It was in a tube. Sport fishing in Swedish in the 50s. Look here. Old stuff. And technique and that kind of stuff. Should we see if we can find a sander? A sander is a huge, much bigger walleye. Must be on this map. Yes, here. This is a sander. You see it reminds of a walleye, but much, much bigger. It can be much, much bigger. And here is my favorite fish. I fished pike a lot some years ago, but perch is my favorite, or sander. Of course I like to eat those kind of fish.